how's it? This is Mundo. Welcome. So, I'm doing a session today. It is called Mr. Amazing. This session is actually for a short film. I'm super happy to do it. It's basically they wanted a Black Sabbath with an orchestra kind of vibe. So, similar to the movie Iron Man. Anyway, I think the movie's called Mr. Amazing. And the composer asked me to play in drop B if I had a 7-string. I've had a plan, so I don't have a 7th string because I'm still trying to learn how to play 6. And but I had a plan. In 2020 I was going to buy a Solar baritone guitar and use it for all the heavy stuff. And then the pandemic came, and of course I ain't buying anything, right? I always use this guitar for heavy stuff, and this is in, I don't know what you call this tuning, but check it out. It's a low C and a low G. It's a low, so it's a 5th. E to A, our normal tuning, is a 4th. E, F, G, A, 4. This is a 5. This is a 5th. So power chords are just one finger. The rest of the guitar, it's kind of funky. The rest of the guitar is in standard tuning. So it's a little funky that I have to adjust my thinking, but it's great for heavier work. Still got 6 strings, still got a nice tension, and it's just when you're reading notes, it's a little messes with your head. But this is it's kind of cool. So I do use this guitar for heavier chunking and chugging, but someday I will have to go down to a low B and get those low Bs. In this song, I'm also going to have to play a single note with a low B, but he also wanted an octave divide, so I'm going to put in a low octave, and I'll get the low B that way, and I'll just play it in standard. So what I want to do, and maybe start doing more on this channel, is to start sharing with you some of the session work I'm doing, and then hopefully the live work when that comes. And I'll let you know what I'm thinking. You need a strategy to start off with, and also, some of these session jobs are really cool, and they're not like a big session job for Lady Gaga or somebody. I'm not getting that call, but these short films, there's a feature film I'm going to do, cruise ship shows, there's a lot of different kinds of session work you can do. And this is just one of them, and it's fun. I'm playing some low chugging. Also in this case, what you're hearing here is not what's being recorded. What's being recorded is just a clean signal from my JDV, Class A direct box, and I'm going to add some plugins to that. I'm going to an Angry Driver into the Blue Guitar, into the Blue Guitar Amp 1, into the Friedman cabinet I have down here. That's just for me. So that's not being recorded. That's just going to give me some vibe. I am going to not play at stage volume, but I am going to play at some louder volume so that I can create some energy. Plugins. The reason I'm going to be using plugins is I'm working with the composer who's working with the director. So after we record it, the director might say, hey, I like it, but can the guitar be heavier? Not as heavy. Things could change. So with a plugin, I can actually change amps or change EQ and not have to retake it. And just to get to this point of the recording process, the composer had to do a mock-up. And on this mock-up, he created fake guitars, fake strings, just to submit to the director so that they could have a dialogue and the director could give them a thumbs up and say, all right, proceed, go fill it out with the band. So what I have 2 guitar parts. I'm going to double each part, so there'll be 4 parts that are written. Then Robbie asked me to come up with some guitar parts of my liking on this middle section. So we'll see what I come up with there. So it's great to get together with the composer before you record. A quick phone call is great. To put things in perspective, this is a full band recording this, so he's writing parts for everybody. And so I want to make sure the parts that he wrote for me are in the right octave. I have the right strategy for what he wants. And then I made some notes, and I'll take it from there. It's going to be fun. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe. I'd love to share with you more of these studio experiences. It's one of the most favorite things I get to do, and it's great recording at home because I have all my guitars as well. It gets really creative, and Check it out, Mr. Amazing. All right, so here's a session I've built. It's very simple. I'll add stuff as I go along. So this is what I've been sent. It's a click, solo this. That's my click. Here's the track. And that's the mock-up track. Here's the individual parts. This is guitar 1. So I'm using this guitar. Once again, the tuning is low C, low G, and then the rest is standard tuning. D, G, B, and E. And I'm going to play it real as tight as I can. I'm using a very light pick, a light attack. If I hit it too hard, I might make the strings and the chords go sharp. So a light attack. And that, by the way, when I've hung out with some of the heaviest cats on the planet and they're chugging, they're so relaxed, and it looks like their right hand is working so smooth and so efficiently, but they're not muscling it in. The rest of the body might be cool and they might be posing, but it's nice. It just seems to be a nice and easy attack. I'll be taking that approach as well. All right, so let's look at guitar 2. This is guitar 2. And that sounds keyboard-like, but that's what he wants guitars there. Dun, 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 dun. And then so we'll make that more metal. Guitar 1 is going to be playing the main line, and that's going to have an octave spread. I'll use an effect for that. And guitar 2, there's going to be a fifth within that octave spread. So that's going to be pretty cool. Oh, by the way, I'm always asked about reading music. And yes, you have to read. But in this case, if you notice, I'm not sight reading. There's a distinction. So I have the tracks. If I can transcribe, I literally could transcribe the tracks and maybe even write it out in tab, but learn it that way. Or I can read the music. I like to have both. Complements the learning process. But if you notice, I'm not having a sight read. So I could take my time and even figure things out slowly and then speed it up. Then again, I have to deliver the session in a timely fashion, but you do what it takes. If you got to stay up all night, you're staying up all night. Okay, first takes. I'm going to be checking my tuning a lot because I'm going to have a lot of the same parts doubled. And probably going to use 3 to 4 guitars. This first part, the A section, it's going to repeat twice. And even on guitar 1, it's going to move to different single note lines, and for that I'm going to switch to a different guitar and have my normal tuning to work with. So I'm just going to record these main riff parts, try to get them all tight, and then I'll move on from there. Okay, I'm going to listen with my headphones. No mics today. I usually have my headphones. I'm hearing the track here, and then I'm hearing my guitar, which is not being recorded through the speaker. I'll deal with the clean signal later and add some plugins to that. That's what's being recorded. That's good. I think I heard one of those in there. I'm going to just do it again. We'll see what happens. So that's good. I'm going to go to the ending now. And that's it. Right, so now I'm going to go to the double track part. I'm going to use the same guitar, so same tuning, At the back end, when we add plugins, I might use a different amp and make one more mid-range forward, high mid-range, higher, so we putting them together, it's a massive sound. So alright, so that's how I recorded Mr. Amazing. If you want to learn how to actually play these parts, go to my True Fire channel. It is the working guitars, and we'll break down all these parts and how I took them off the paper and added distortion and made them real. So check it out.